A whirlwind of activity welcomes us as soon as we waltz into LPD HQ. Fellow officers running here and there, pushing around paperwork and answering calls. It's almost Halloween and troublemakers are abound. Calls about pranks gone wrong make up the most of this time of the year, along with occasional altercation or missing dog. Some of the other officers who work with me look up from their desks and wave, though none of them moves to stop us like I'm expecting. Standing order my ass probably didn't last a whole day. Although I'd like to have a chat with them sooner or later about official matters, I'm not here for them right now. Of course, it never hurts to see what they have for me, and the best person to ask for details in this precinct is the guy behind the booking window. He glances up at me once I approach and immediately returns to his task, indifferent. Not that I need his full attention. As long as he talks, I'm good. Next to me, Isabella stands wordlessly, clearly uncomfortable, waiting in anticipation from how close she's sticking to me. That's probably because she's been the same person so many times in her life. Her drunkard brother, the eldest, a repeated offender. Mostly minor cases, but she had to be the one to bail him out every time, from what I've gathered. I can't imagine what's going on inside her head now that it has happened to a close friend. Hearing the way these guys talk about him must be worse.
Hey, I heard there's a new guy in the holding cells.
Not many here know Zach, and if they've seen him, they don't pay too much attention. I try to keep my work and personal life far from each other as I possibly can. Each one of them is quick to chat, gossip, be the one to talk about the new detainee and have everyone's attention.
News flies fast, huh? They just brought him in this morning.
Any info on him?
Got his ass handed by some rich bloke's bodyguard. Or butler, whatever. When we got to the scene, he's already been strung up and ready for pickup. Hard to imagine how a guy like him could have been taken down, but the butler has this creepy air to him. I'd rather not ask. Feel sorry for the bloke, he could have fought back.
That's because Zach wouldn't hurt a fly.
All said under her breath, but her grip on her grip on her back grows rigid. Unlike me, she's not frustrated at Zach. That ire is directed at the person who put our friend in this predicament. It's true, though. Zach's not the kind of person, and knowing he might be in a bad state, whatever little anger I've...
Has he been booked yet?
Ah! Ah! And knowing he might be in a bad state, whatever little anger I've built up for him on the way here dissolves into thin air. Has he been booked then?
No, still sleeping. Creepy butler probably hit him hard.
Which is a good thing. If they slip up and forget, we can get him on a writ of habeas corpus and take him out of here, depending on what he's actually been charged with. But at the same time, it's bad. How long is he going to be unconscious?
Your friend was caught on right property, and you better believe I'm not happy about this. Not one bit.
That sounds like the chief. I mean, most of the people in this game sound like the chief, but I think at this time it's actually the chief. I want to say that there must be some sort of misunderstanding. Zach isn't the type to do such a thing, unless it was all his plan all along. In that case, I couldn't just charge blindly into this without all the details, no matter how much I want to believe my friend's innocence. And right? Luke, right? What on earth was Zach thinking? And in any case, it doesn't look like the chief is happy, even if I don't protest and give him a salute. Not pleased at all if the fact that he grabs me and pulls me aside is any indication. If I were to describe his expression, he looks ready to kill me.
I swear, Frey, if you're behind this, if you told Steele to stalk the rights because you were taken off the case,
I'm not stupid enough to ignore chain of command and go against official orders. Give me some credit, Chief.
And you better be sure you didn't. Luke Wright is coming here, and we both know he's trouble. I'd consider your friend lucky if he only gets charges put against him. Maybe if we can make sure he's in a good mood, he won't escalate the situation. Hell, maybe we'll have a bloody miracle and Steele only gets a slap on the wrist, but Lord knows it's unlikely with that man.
You know him well, Chief.
An observation, not an accusation. But it might as well be with how things panned out from the night at the housewarming party to the morning that followed. His wife's familiar with him too. Who's to say that friendship hasn't colored the investigation into Luke Wright? I don't want to accuse my superior, but damn it, he makes it difficult.
Of course I'd too, shouldn't you? You've been looking into the guy for so long. I'd call you a bad detective if you can't even tell me whether he's right or left-handed.
That's an easy one. He's left-handed, but he's been taught to use his right. You can tell when he picks something up with his left hand, but when he realizes that, he moves it to the right.
Well, at least I don't have to question your ability. Anyway, if I were you, I'd either go and make myself scarce or sit down and shut up. Don't go aggravating people, basically, because you have a knack for that at the worst of times.
As much as I hate to say it, but he's right. It's better to keep my mouth shut and not make things worse for Zach. There's not much to do now but hope for the best. They don't call for an investigation when it comes to petty felonies.
Petty felonies.
Worst case scenario, he's looking at a fine worth £5,000 and 6 months in jail. Best case scenario, we get the charges bumped down to trespassing and misdemeanor and juvenile offense, and he'll be given probation and will be charged for restitution. At this point, those seem to be the most likely outcome. I don't see how he could have been framed for breaking and entering unless he was taken into somebody's property against his will. Even in my head, that sounds unlikely.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I think I'm a delight to be around.
Tell that to my blood pressure pills. Anyway, let me handle him, all right?
Right on cue. The moment Chief says that, you know who arrives. Voldemort?
Tom Riddle.
And like the arrogant show-off that he is, he makes sure his arrival is as well noticed by everyone within the immediate vicinity. Behind me, Isabella gasps. She has no idea how much of a trash his previous client is.
I think it should be her. Her previous client?
Yeah. Now she's going to get a frontline view of it. The guy ignores the front desk even when Benjamin tries to greet him. He just blows past him, walks in all high and mighty as if he owns the place. Meanwhile, that creepy butler of his trails behind him like a tamed dog on its leash. Doesn't help that the other officers stop whatever it is they're doing and stare. Whether it's out of suspicion, curiosity, or judging by some of the starstruck looks, awe. They should quit it, get back to work, and stop giving the man the attention he obviously is seeking.
I'm here to report a crime.
Of course, why else would you be here? You're either reporting something or being put behind bars, you imbecile. I'm going to...
Calm down, Ashton. No need to rile myself up, honey. Calm down. Not for him, not for myself, but for Zach. It's already difficult holding back when his face looks like it could use a good right hook. Oh, okay. Better just let the chief handle him. Sure enough, he's the first to walk up to him, bearing a smile way too friendly for comfort, looking at them like, this makes me sick to my stomach. It's easy to know there's something up underneath the guise of keeping up appearances.
I'll be happy to assist you with that, Mr. Wright. You'll have to issue your statements as victim and witness. We'll have to determine probable cause and properly file a criminal complaint. Of course, you understand.
Oh, I understand, though I don't see why you can't file that thing yourself. The cause is obvious, isn't it? He was breaking into my home in order to pilfer my belongings.
Well, we'll still need that police report. The prosecutor will be the one to determine what charges you can legally file against the accused.
Reports and prosecutors, why should we law-abiding citizens suffer through all that? Thugs like him should be kept off the streets. I mean, it's so obvious who these people are, you can practically spot them.
Wait, hold up, is this guy for real? Can he hear himself? He's not saying what I think he's saying, I hope.
They come here to our country, take advantage of our wealth and generosity, while we proper Brits work hard and pay our taxes.
These damn immigrants.
I mean, yeah, we've pretty well established before he's a racist.
All the while they break our laws and ruin our civilized community. Trash like these should be kept contained. These uneducated.
Now, Mr. Wright. I know you're upset about what happened, but perhaps we should move to my office.
I mean, he's also upset because his wife is leaving him, or at least that's what he thinks.
Of course. The sooner we can deal with the petty criminal, the better.
I can't believe the audacity of this guy. Did he really think himself better just because he was born rich?
I swear they should just ship these peasants back to where they came from. They're all criminals. It can't be helped. It's in their genes.
Go back to your own country.
Despite myself, in spite of every restraint I've placed on me upon hearing those words, I can't help but open my mouth. Chief's warning be damned.
Rush him.
Assault the guy in the police station. Good one. This is my friend he's fucking shitting on. Well, rushing him is not the right option.
Yeah, I guess the top.
Because I mean, like...
Everyone obviously heard him being a jerk, so... Be like, hey, you're being a jerk.
Yeah, rushing him's the wrong move. Completely
I don't want to do it, though.
You want us to be violent against him?
No.
I mean, first thing that's going to happen is his butler, I think, is going to stand in and we're going to get injured by the butler is my first guess. But, call him out?
Yeah, I guess.
You sound so...
I don't know, it's just weird that rush him would even be an option.
I know.
Because, like, either way...
Rush him sounds like an option for us to get fired. Because right now we still have our job. We're just off the case.
Yeah. I'm just wondering which one... I'm just wondering how the chief will react.
I mean, because there's the immediate reactions and how they affect Ash, but it's also obvious, like, we still have Luke's chapter. So there's also how will it affect Luke.
But we don't like Luke.
I know, but... I feel like calling him out would have a bigger impact, because the psychological impact against him. Because no, I mean, there's that, because like words have always had a weird effect on him in this game. I mean, he got knocked over the head with a book, but now if we rush him, he's got the butler there. Johannes is with him, so that's why I don't think rushing him. Like if we wanna hurt Luke, we call him out.
Okay.
And even if we don't want to hurt Luke, but we just want less bad things to happen to Ash, we call him out.
Okay.
That's my reasoning.
Yeah.
Call him out. This is my friend he's fucking shitting on.
They're all criminals? It's in their genes?
Oh, he's pissed.
Come here and say that to my face, you bastard!
Oh,
Don't.
I realized my mistake only after her whispered plea reached my ears. Isabella's fingers dig deep into the fabric of my jacket as she tries to hold me back.
Ash is an immigrant as well, isn't he?
Well, I think he was born here.
Oh, is he?
But his parents are obvious. At least one of his parents is obviously Asian.
Right.
True, I should have put myself out on the spotlight like that. Shouldn't have. But this guy, this fucking guy.
Oh, and who is this loud young man?
He glances at me like I'm a flea, a pest. But it's more disgusting how fast his expression changes once he spots Isabella behind me. Recognition flashes in his eyes the moment his attention turns to her.
I do recognize little Lily over there, though. Hello, long time no see. Is Pipsqueak your friend?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. He didn't...
Don't apologize to him! He doesn't deserve it! I can't believe you're all just listening to his shit!
You have to calm down, Ash.
Should have kept my mouth shut.
Frey, stand down! I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. Luke, you have to excuse him. He's under a lot of stress. Just got removed from a case and the man is an acquaintance, you see.
But I'm not taking any of my words back. because he is an utter bastard. From the way he stares at Isabella to what he has done to Zack, it all reeks of the rot that is Luke fucking Wright. Even after so many years, nothing has changed. He's still the same slime ball who does everything to get what he wants.
The thief is a friend of a cop? Now that is the start of a joke if I've ever heard one. A thief and a cop walk into a bar.
He's not a thief!
And yet we found him trespassing on my property. There are eyewitnesses, and his grubby prints are probably all over my pristine walls as he was breaking in. Face the facts, little policeman. You've made the wrong sorts of friends.
He's not a criminal!
And that is the truth, but with the way everyone is looking at me right now, this must have been how Isabella felt when we won't believe her about the letter. Just the thought of that leaves a bitter taste in my mouth. And there she is, caught in the middle of this fight I've started.
Isabella, tell him! You know Zack. He's not the kind of person who'd do this shit!
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
We both know that. But yelling at him won't help Zack at all. Please.
Calm yourself, Frey! Unless you want me to throw you in a cell myself.
I understand you're upset that your friend is locked up, but the law is the law. And don't you worry, I won't be pressing charges against you. I don't know what charge, but I'm sure I can think of something if I need to. Do put a leash on your boyfriend, Lily. He might hurt himself. Being that angry can't be that good for his health.
I'm livid. Fists clenched and jaw tight. I'm nearly ready to just sock this guy good and make do on that promise of a right hook. My frustration about it all must have shown, because only now do I realize that aside from Isabella, the other officers have jumped in to hold me back all this time. They don't even let go of me, not until I've put a good distance away between me and the scumbag. And it's awkward going on from there. The precinct is quiet, though the usual bad hustle and bustle of activity stayed. Everyone's making a concerted effort to shut their mouths about the whole scene. I wish they made the same effort to keep themselves from staring at me, though. They all want to talk about what just happened. But at the same time, they don't want to acknowledge that it did happen and refuse to even make eye contact with me. All of it changes the next second, though. It doesn't even register to me until it's already occurred. Before I have the chance to leave, ready to march out the precinct, still angry and frustrated, all of a sudden Isabella, who's been standing close to me not a second ago, grabs a half full glass of water off of one of the officers' tables and dumps its entirety on the content of Scumbag. And the expression on her, it's nothing short of seething.
You bloody...
It's been a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Afterwards, she slams the drinking glass down the table with a loud thud. With the whole precinct, still, the sound it creates echoes thickly along the walls, almost deafening. In the face of her temper, nobody dares move. But she doesn't give me the time to relish the disbelief in Wright's face. She marches toward me soon after, and before I could say anything, she grabs me by the wrist and drags me out of the precinct. Honestly, I've never seen something so satisfying in my life. Oh, it's a shame he didn't get to see Rebecca book him with a book. I might as well be grinning from ear to ear if I weren't feeling so pissed at a lot of things right now. Still, would have loved to sock the bastard myself. That was interesting.
Not what I expected.
No.